Hey everybody, my name is Casey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing a pretty big terraforming project. This video will be in two parts. Here is the area that I am planning on terraforming. So it's going to be kind of like a big sunken waterfall area. I'm really excited to build and work on this area, and I will give you any tips I have for decorating or waterscaping throughout the video. So I know I want to have a bunch of little kind of mini islands on this first level right here. I also want to eventually make a seating area, so I'm just trying to plan that out. I want to have a bunch of single tile areas with some flowers or mum cushions on top of that. So I'm just kind of playing around with the terraforming and the shape. I do eventually want this to lead to another area that I did off of recording. It was kind of like a similar sunken waterfall area. It will be next to my museum. So I'm going to try and have this water connect to that one if possible. So I'm just kind of going around and, like I said, figuring out the shapes for the little single tile pieces of land that I want to have throughout this river. So right here, I'm just trying to figure out the shape of the waterfalls. I'm not sure I like it this small, but for now we're just gonna leave it. And as you can tell, I have a bunch of flowers in my pocket, so I'm gonna just go ahead and empty some of these out and just place them on the cliff up here. The decorations will mainly be like flowers and bushes, and then the items I'll use will be kind of simple, like this mum cushion right here. So that is just what I am going to be doing right now. So right here, I'm just extending this cliff a little bit more because, like I said, I didn't like the original shape of it. I want it to be a bit bigger. So right here, I'm just going to extend this island out a little bit more. I want to be able to fit 2 trees on it, so I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger. And right here, I am going to just make the cliff a little bit larger on this side because I want to have the waterfalls be kind of all over this upper cliff so I can kind of mix up where it falls on the bottom. So I'm just extending this a little bit more. So this is what I mean by mixing up the waterscaping on this top cliff here. I'm going to have a little waterfall going off the corner there, and then one right here, and then I'm going to do another corner waterfall right here just to give it some diversity and, I don't know, dimension. It just looks a lot more detailed if you kind of spread out the waterfalls like this. Right here, I am just making this kind of 2x2 area or 3x3 area so I can round off these corners right there. And then I am going to just go ahead and figure out the shape for the rest of these mini islands that will be in this big river. And then for this build, I just want to say it requires a lot of like running back and forth to the top of the cliff to check out the view and make sure everything's looking okay. So just bear with me as I do that throughout the video. So now that I have kind of the layout for the lower level complete, I am going to go ahead and come back up here and plant some more flowers and bushes. Like I had mentioned earlier, I want this area to be very colorful and filled with a lot of flowers. So right here, of course, I'm just going in and extending the cliff a little bit more because I wanted to add some more trees to give this base some more depth. So I'm just making these cliffs a little bit bigger back here. So right now I am going to just put a little seating area right here. So I'm going to lay this purple mat down and then figure out the placement for the seating area. So I'm not entirely sure if I like that seating area, but I'm going to come back to it later. I also want to use that Karopi bridge somewhere in this build, so I'm just going to see if it looks okay right there. I don't really like how it looks, so I'm going to go ahead and place it on top of this cliff up here after I lay down a little custom design. I think if I place it on top of the cliff in the back right here, it will kind of give an illusion of like a little bridge on top of here, so I think that could look cool. And I'm also trying to incorporate well, not a lot, but some red colors onto my island as well. It's really weird working with all of these different colors. I'm just really not used to it. Like my old island, I had my whole kind of like theme and aesthetic figured out. And for this island, I'm still kind of figuring that out as I go. It's just a lot different, and I'm not used to working with so many bright colors, but it's a good change. And then for this area right here, I think I want to have a little seating area, or I want to put kind of like a bigger item here. So I'm going to just try and lay down this blanket code right here and see if I like how it looks. I think the blanket code looks okay so far. So I'm going to just lay this last little tile down, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back over here because I want to change up some of the water terraforming a little bit. I want to bring in this cliff right here where the green mum is and this white hyacinth, so I can leave a little bit more room for waterscaping beneath it. So I'm just picking up those items, and then I will come back down and bring in the cliff a little bit more. I think I like this shape a little bit better for this waterscaping right here. I'm just gonna dig up that lily of the valley, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take down that little piece of water terraforming, and then I decide for this little blanket code, I don't like it, so I'm gonna use this circular floral code. I think it just matches the whole area a lot better. And after I lay this last little corner down, I'm gonna go ahead and place the big birdwing butterfly model on top, and then I just think it looks a lot better up there than having like a little picnic or seating area. So far this build is coming together nicely. I'm gonna just build these cliffs up a little bit more so you can get a better view of this whole area. And then as I was building up those cliffs, I decided I don't like how this little island looks right here. I think the log bench is too small, and I don't like the layout of the items that I chose. So I am going to go ahead and play around with some different placements for the items and flowers and see if I can get this looking a little bit better. So I decide to use a garden bench right here. I just think it looks nicer and it gives the area a little bit more height. And then I'm gonna just swap in some different flowers right here, and then trying to figure out if I can still incorporate that mush partition somewhere. I think it would be nice if I could fit it in, but since it's such a weird amount of space, I'm not sure if I will be able to or not. As of right now, I'm going to just take a little break from that area, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back up here. I'm just noticing I'm using a lot of similar flowers for this build, so I'm going to just go ahead and go in and swap out some more flowers and then adjust some of the waterscaping back here. Since this build is so big, it's really tricky to get everything how I like it. So it's just kind of been like a trial and error for me. If you are trying to do a similar build, I would just say try and be patient with it. It just kind of comes together slowly after trying out a bunch of different items and flowers. As you can see here, that's just kind of what I've been doing, just seeing what works and what doesn't work, but it does eventually come together. It's just kind of a whole process. I do think this build is coming together, but I'm going to just go ahead and time travel to the next day. I just enjoy playing the game when it is in the early morning. I just feel the colors look a lot softer, and it just helps me feel a little bit more creative. So that's another tip. If you have a certain time of day in the game where you enjoy playing more, I would definitely recommend doing larger builds, especially during that time of day in the game. So then right here, I am just going in and filling in some flowers on this first little level, and then I'm going to adjust the flowers again in items down here because it's still not how I want it. I'm just going in and adding down a custom code, and then I'm going to place a goldfish right there. I've mentioned this before, but I love that goldfish little cup or bowl that it comes in. It's really, really pretty. And then I'm going to just fill in some more flowers right here. I'm gonna try and break up some of the flowers down here by laying down some custom codes just so it's not all a bunch of flowers, and then I'm swapping out this purple windflower for a custom code again because I'm using too much purple now. Before it was like too much whites and now it's too much purple, but I am gonna just lay down that custom code and then see if I can put that hedge standee down and make it work. Right here, I'm trying to find an item that would look good on top of that really pretty floral wreath code, but everything I try is just not working out, so I just kind of kick up that code and then lay down some gold roses and just leave it be. So right here, I'm just swapping out that purple windflower for a red mum, but if you can see in the background there, I have a red mum up here, and I don't like having two flowers in kind of like the same site of each other, or same alignment. So I'm gonna just take out that red mum and then swap it out with a gold rose. Right here, I'm just taking away that gold rose, trying to swap it out with a pink windflower, but I just don't like that, and honestly, these flowers are getting a little bit frustrating, so I just planted a bush. Hopefully I like that when I am kind of finishing the rest of the build, but I've had enough with the flowers, and so now I'm gonna just go in and place down that butterfly model. And then I had an idea to go ahead and make, where I put that bush there, make this 2 by 2, I don't know, whatever it is, 2 spaces long. And then I'm gonna lay down a custom code right here, and then I'm gonna put in a mush lamp. So I think that looks good. And I'm honestly struggling a bit to figure out what to put on this little kind of area right here. So I'm gonna just try and terraform out another little mini island. I'm not sure what to really call it, and then just place in another mush lamp. So to be completely honest, this build has been quite time consuming and a little bit hard, and it's just, like I said, it's something that you get better with as you practice it. But if this is like your first time doing a big waterscaping build or anything, like, just remember to be patient with yourself and know that you will get it eventually. It just kind of is a matter of trial and error. But right now I'm just going in and expanding this little river because, like I had mentioned earlier, I do want it to extend down here, making it kind of like a little single tile river, and it will be flowing to another sunken waterfall area. Right here, as you can see behind me by that cypress plant, there's a little waterfall flowing down there. And so now that we've connected it, we will just head up here and you can kind of get a little sneak peek of that area I'm talking about. But now I am on kind of like the last little part for this part of the video. I had mentioned this earlier, but this video will be in 2 parts, and I'm just swapping out that goldfish for a mush lamp because I really like how those look. So I'm just getting one more look of this area, and then I'm gonna come over here because in order to plant some trees, I'm going to need to dig out this cliff a little bit more. So that is just what I am doing right here. So right now I am just kind of putting the last little finishing touches on this build. Like I've mentioned, it is going to be a 2-part video. I didn't intend for it to be 2-part, but this is just such a large build that I need to break it up. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are interested in seeing the second part of this video, which will be me completing this entire area. So now I'm just going in and planting some trees right here. I'm going to put this stunted bamboo tree here, and then I am going to just see if I can fit in a mush parasol here. I'm going to just go ahead and lay this stone pathing down underneath it. I think the mush parasol will give this area a little more height, and then I'm going to just go ahead and place some fencing right here and then some more items. So now that I have some flowers laid down, I'm going to just give you all a quick little view of what it looks like so far. And then I just wanted to say thank you all so much for watching this video. Like I said, this wasn't intentionally going to be a 2-part video, so I'm not going to have like our normal end scene for the video. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!